All right, what is going on, guys? Pavel's back again, coming at you with the showcase on Furry Toshiro, aka Legosi wannabe, and let's just get right into it. Now, this character is actually really good. Shout out to my boy Leno for letting me do this showcase. This character has a Quincy killer, right? And I did say that this character is only really going to be good in GQ. I think this character is good outside of GQ. I'll talk about that a little bit, but let's just quickly go into his skills. Into his skills, for the real passive skills that he has going on, we have Sprinter +1 for his flash step, pretty standard. Havoc 20% standard for a character to be good, in my opinion. Guard break and hit hidden enemies, which I think is actually really good, considering that in GQ you don't really have to worry about hidden enemies and you don't have to worry about guard breaking enemies. So this is specifically just for outside GQ. So it looks like Caleb did think about that quite a bit. Like if you look at the Yu-Gi-Oh, for example, that they released for GQ, he's a NAD character, and they actually didn't give him devastation. There's actually very few characters that don't have devastation that are NAD characters. I still find it kind of funny that they did that. Going into the Toshiro, we also have Havoc 20%, Debilitator plus 5 seconds, which is awesome for his confirm freeze mechanic, which I think is really good. Next, we have Weaken Immunity, which is always good for GQ when you have the resistance to that way you're not flash stepping like a moron. Then we have the Frenzy +1 and Berserker 40%. This is where I'm a little iffy on this character because he has Frenzy +1 and Berserker 40%. Going into the all-encompassing damage, like skipping the devastation, right, we have damage to frozen enemies 40%, so we're getting a lot more damage there. Damage inflicted at full stam 20%. This will go up to 45 if you T20 the character, which if you're doing a very hard GQ, in my opinion, it's not even a question, you're going to T20 this character. Then we have status ailment spiritual pressure boost 80%. Now that the spiritual pressure boost 80% with the Frenzy +1 and Berserker 40%, in my opinion, leads to very good damage, but it's also very inconsistent damage. He does have the trap mechanic, which was a melee attack, now changed to a ranged attack, probably why they delayed the banner in the first place. This is freeze on a stick. 100% guaranteed to freeze the enemy when they get hit with a tick of the trap mechanic. So you can confirm that you will keep your spiritual pressure boost, but you also have to be very, like, if you want to min-max this character, you're going to have to time when your cooldowns are up, when your status ailment spiritual pressure boost originally triggered, so that way you can proc the third strong attack at a proper spot in order to freeze the enemy, which it sounds a little chaotic. Normally, I don't care. I just pop my strong attack, si me lo das, right? If you give it to me, I'll get it, cool. Status ailment spiritual pressure boost, let's just go. But it still is somewhat inconsistent unless you're paying very close attention to details, which, let's be real here, I'm not one of those people. Going into the GQ skills, we do have killer effect plus 50% in GQ and range damage plus 30% in GQ. In my opinion, these last two skills are what make this character very good in Guild Quest, regardless of whether or not your spiritual pressure boost drops halfway through your strong attacks. Like, knowing that you have access to this third strong attack means that you're 100% guaranteed your status ailment spiritual pressure boost off rip from the beginning of the game if you so choose, or you can gamble, do your first or second strong attack. And I think that that's really cool because it gives you a lot of options on the characters, and that's something that I've been asking for quite a while. Now, I will say that this character is not 100% necessary for that GQ in particular. I would say, unless you have like max transcended units that could replace him, I think that this character is going to be really good for that GQ. But I would also advise being wary of summoning for a character for one GQ, considering that GQ will come back every 2.5 months. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't plan to play this character outside of GQ, I don't really see the point in summoning for him, and potentially summoning for him maybe at the end of the year post selection. Usually post selection banner is going to be a lot of value. And yeah, we'll see what's up. We'll see what's up. I do find it funny that Caleb kind of skipped the move source this time around. But yeah, so T-Set, Fortification Pill, Lieutenant's Badge. We have the Chad, again, Rusai Momo. I love Strong Attack Recharge Full Stam. I'm so happy that Caleb has like started doing good links for Resurrections. I feel like even those like immunity Strong Attack Recharge links and immunity strong attack damage links, or immunity full stam damage boost links, I feel like all these like links with immunities finally have an actual use in this game, at the very least in GQ. I get that GQ is not going to be a lot of people's cup of tea, myself not like included, but I do enjoy being able to like pop off the Valentine's Day Halibel, like Cacao Society Halibel on my Aizen, so that way I get some strong attack recharge 14%, but I also have weaken immunity now because I don't have that in this Espada week, and I'm actually using him for my Espada week. So I think that that's really cool. So without further ado, let's take him into IT, see how he performs there. He doesn't have increased status element chance, but he does have that third strong attack, so at the very least, we're confirming that we will get the spiritual pressure boost. We also have Quincy's. Oh, that's pretty cool. K-Lab times characters with their killer in GQ. So like it was 100% not a coincidence that Toshiro and Momo were supposed to come out the day that Espada week, I mean, the day that Quincy and Sternritter week was in the Guild Quest rotation. K-Lab is not, K-Lab will do any dirty sales marketing that they could possibly do. Like, they're the type of people that'll be like, here, buy cigarettes so you can get cancer, and then you can get this, and then you can get that. It's kind of dirty, I'm not gonna lie. K-Lab be filthy. I'm not gonna lie, I do like that little full moon third strong attack that he does here, like that ice circle. Maybe I'm just the only one that thought about like a full moon. One thing to note is when you do your second strong attack, you're actually locking out your ability to change. I meant to do that. I was kind of hoping someone would have gotten in there. It should be the 40% mag. Is that the 40% mag or is that the 18% mag? Alright, so it is the 18% mag for a strong attack, so like, I should have known. 5,000 versus like, yeah, 9,000. Yeah, so that's another thing. The third strong attack, keep in mind that even though it is an 1170 AoE third strong attack, it's a 690 radius trap. And the problem with the third strong attack is if you do the third strong attack, you see how we haven't frozen the enemy yet. We have to wait for the proc to hit. And now the enemy's frozen. Right? So keep that in mind when you're trying to get your spiritual pressure boost, not to like kill everyone in sight, because there it is. You're not 100% confirmed. Now this is what I was talking about. 1, 2, 3. See how like our spiritual pressure boost lasted like 3 seconds, even though we froze the enemies just now. When you freeze an enemy while your spiritual pressure boost is active, it doesn't refresh the status element spiritual pressure boost. And I find that kind of like trashy, because I feel like it'd be so much better if they did it that way. See, like we haven't gotten our spiritual pressure boost until we got the Udio in there. I'm not gonna lie, his special actually looks really cool. Oh nice, we got a rank up so you get a little bit of orbs. Cool, cool. Always nice to see. I will say he is fun to play with though. The second strong attack is so wild to me though, because it's like what is it? Let me read this. Radius 1080. So it's like a big AoE in front. And it not only locks you into place, so you can get hit if like an enemy's behind you. If they're in front of you, they're getting cream pied, bro. But if they're behind you, like they can hit you, right? Like, see that? So you're not like immortal and you're not under the normal, like if I do this. See, they can't hit me when I'm in the middle of like a strong attack. Like you have that strong attack immunity. You don't get that when you're popping off this strong attack. And I feel like that could be pretty hit or miss, because it vastly, in my opinion, it vastly changes how you want to play with a character. But you could just straight up pop off your strong attack and then just not continue it, right? Like if I do this, you still get really good damage out of it. The only thing is that second strong attack has so much freaking damage. It's like, it really is unheard of. Like, let me compare, right? So like, so 10,000. Oh wait, it's better to do it with the third strong attack. Okay, so the third strong attack deals 25,000 damage, right? Now that's good damage. 25,000 damage, considering that this is without killer. Like if we had killer, we're dealing 40k, and then with a frenzy +1 character, that's usually 8 hits. So we're dealing like 320k on a 1 out of 5 character. That's not bad, in my opinion, considering that this character only has frenzy +1. Obviously, like we didn't have our spirit. I don't believe we had our spiritual pressure boost. Like if I pop off the 3rd strong attack in a bit, while let's see if I can get my SP boost so that way I can actually like give a better telling. I want a decent amount of enemies here. Oh, I have the spiritual pressure boost. Perfect. Yeah. So you see, like we did 38,000 damage to the enemy over here. So if we take like that 38,000, let's multiply by 1.2. Let's assume he crit, right? And then we take this, so 1.6 for killer, multiplies by 8. We're dealing like 600k damage on an enemy that's not frozen. Like that's really good. But when we take that 2nd strong attack with the spiritual pressure boost, let's see if we can get over to an enemy before we get our spiritual pressure boost. It's like I wasn't able to. Okay. I'm just gonna take him in there. Okay, let me do it on this one. All right, so 33,000 on the crit. Right now, we did 45,600 on the crit. However, this 2nd strong attack hits 30 times. So if we take the 33,000 multiplies by 1.6, we did crit that hit. We're already hitting for a little bit more damage than normal, which is normal damage for a 2nd strong attack. The 2nd strong attack will normally have higher numbers, but it has less hits. Normally, these strong attacks have 6 hits. So he would deal 316.8k. Times 6. Wait, we're 52k versus the 45. Yeah, that's right. So normally we would deal like 316.8k because it's normally 6 hits instead of 8. But if you're holding this strong attack instead of waiting for it to cool down and popping off more strong attacks and then having to wait for cooldowns, this hits 5 times more than a normal 2nd strong attack. This hits 30 times instead of 6. That's big. That's like huge. Like the damage from the 3rd strong attack hits for like 583k. Imagine hitting for 1.6 million, not taking into account the fact that this character could potentially freeze the enemy and then start dealing 40% more damage to that enemy in particular. You melt enemies with this strong attack, and that's not normal for most units. And I think that's pretty big. That's why I think that characters like Bambiena and Toshiro are like really, really good in content like GQ, but not just GQ, epic raids. Like this strong attack and epic raids, like where's the boss moving, bro? You don't push the enemy back. If the enemy gets frozen even for like a second, that's just damage, man. But yeah, those are my overall real thoughts on this character. I think he's a good character. I just didn't want to summon for him because the orb return that I would get for clearing GQ just doesn't merit it. Like if I do 5 steps, that's 1100 orbs. I get 20 orbs for that GQ in particular. I'm still earning like 15 of those orbs. I think they said that they're raising it to 30 or something like that. One of my friends messaged me. I haven't really been, I'll be real, I haven't really been keeping too much track of BBS. But even if I was getting like 30 orbs a week, if I spent 1100 orbs and pulled this character, assuming that I pulled this character, 1100 orbs divided by 30. No, you know, by 15, because I'm at least getting 15 orbs every single Quincy week without this character. And it would take me 73 full fucking rotations of GQ for me to get my orbs back for this character in particular. It just doesn't make financial sense for me to summon on a mid-month banner when I'm not guaranteed anything. I guess it's not really 5 steps because this is the 3-step rotation thing, right? It's a 3-step rotation. It is tempting. It's tempting. Now that I say it that way, it's a bit tempting. So what is it? 150 plus 200 plus 250. So it's 600 divided by like a 15 orb. How many rotations? 40 rotations. 40 rotations every like what? 2.5 months. So it's gonna take about like 100 months divided by 12. It'll take me about 8 years to get the orbs back from that rotation. I'm being very unfair to the character. like I get that I'm being unfair. I'm just giving my copium on why I'm trying not to summon on this banner. Either way, I do like the design of the character. I'm actually really, really happy that they're bringing back like old school design characters and just making them good again, or just making them good in the first place. Like the White Day Gin, White Day Aizen, even if they're not like great, right? Like look at Party Time Grimjock. He's not really all that good, but it is cool that like these characters are playable 7 years after the fact that they originally came out, even though you have to kind of summon for them again, which kind of sucks, but hey, it is what it is at the very least. Like, it's a playable version of a character that I think is a cool looking pull when you summon them for like the first or second time. How many times have you guys summoned for a character and you're just like, oh man, it looks so cool. I wish that this character was playable though. Look at who's my favorite OG like character? You know how badly I wanted Parasol Nanao back in like 2016? Like her design, Parasol Shunsui, bro. I hope that they bring back Parasol characters more so than just like collab with Burn the Witch, because I think that there's just a lot of potential for cool stuff.